What's going on, everybody? Thank you guys for joining me on my live. Today is going to be an exciting day. I interview the guy who I've been raving about, the guy who I'm highest on in terms of who's from the Dominican Republic. I will be interviewing Elvis Rodriguez. Obviously, before he comes on, he's going to come on in about 20, 30 minutes. He will be on the show. I will let you guys call in and ask questions if you guys are interested in it. I'm really looking forward to this because, again, out of all the Dominicans that I've talked about, whether it be Michelle Rivera, Carlos Adames, Hector Luis Garcia, Alberto Puello, who else? Jason Rosario, or whatever. Any Dominican, that one I'm highest on, the one I see potential of being a unified champion, doing good things and making moves in the boxing world. It's Elvis Rodriguez. And I'm really, really excited about this interview that's going to happen in a few minutes. I mean, about 20 minutes from now, 30 minutes from now. I'm really excited. It's going to be a fantastic. I have a lot of good questions for him. So I'm hoping, we vibe well. I'm hoping he has good service and everything goes smooth. I do like, I spoke to him. He told me he's in Los Angeles currently right now. So he is, he will have good service is what I'm saying. Like, he's going to have American service. I know when I had Hector Luis Garcia, it was mad choppy. And, most of you guys, to your credit, stood on all the way to the end. But definitely, man. L-Dub Boxing, what's up, my brother? Shout out to you. I checked out your channel. I did check it out. Remember, I told you before. I've seen I've seen your page, but I never clicked on it. I checked out some of your content. Shout out to you, my brother. I do like that you talked about Gustavo Lemos. A lot of hardcore boxing fans, they're not up to date with that yet. So you're a real hardcore if you know about that. Coming off of a knockout win against Lee Selby. HLD, shout out to you, my brother. My man Jay, my Dominican brother from Brooklyn. Man, that's like my brother. Shout out to you. Yo, doing big things, my guy. This is going to be one for the books. A bunch of Dominican flags and arm flexing emojis. For real, yeah, man. Again, this one I do think is going to be for the history books because I'm that high on Elvis Rodriguez. I do look at him as a blue chip prospect. I do look at him as somebody who's top tier, somebody who could potentially be a pound for pound guy. Now, am I predicting that? I mean, I don't know in terms of how his career plays out, but I see that's the potential I see from him. I see him shooting up the ranks pretty quick too. I really do. I really do. No doubt, Elder Boxing. Shout out to you and your channel, man. Shout out, hit that subscribe button on his channel as well as mine, Elder Boxing. Shout out to you, man. My guy, heading to the gym for right now for some sparring, but I'll tune in before I start. Yeah, man. If anything, you could tune in afterwards. I know Michael Blunt, you definitely one of, if not my favorite subscriber. Definitely always active in the chat, always active on Twitter as well. If you can't check it out, just watch it on the car ride home, or one day you're running or something. Just throw the headphones on, listen to the interview. It's definitely gonna be a good one. But what's going on in the world of boxing, man? What do you guys want to talk about before the interview? I mean, unless y'all want to talk about, do you have matter of fact, do you have any questions specifically you guys want me to ask him? Like, again, I will give people a chance to call in and ask their own question, but just in case, I don't get to you, or he had a run, or something where you feel like I'm maybe more qualified to ask a certain question, type it in the comment section, in the chat box, excuse me, and I'll give it a look. And if I think it's a question worthy, I'll definitely ask him. Yeah, man. Soneto Media, what's up, hermano? Dime a ver, que lo que, maní? I don't know if you're Dominican, but I'm just going to assume you're Dominican. So shout out to Soneto Media. What's going on, my brother? We here, we talk boxing on this side. Oh, by the way, hold on. I definitely got to start this show off by this. This is for the guys who love the small guys, the guys who fight in the little divisions. This fight has me excited, man. A rematch between Nonito Donaire and Naoya Inoue rematch for a 3-belt unification is set. A 3-belt unification is set for June 7th at the Saitama Super Arena in Japan. I know this is something that is concerning to you guys because most of my followers are from the U.S. So this is Jake Donovan's article, by the way. Shout out to Jake Donovan. Follow him as well. says U.S. television distribution rights were not made available at the time of Wednesday's announcement though BoxingScene.com has learned that such plans will be revealed in the coming weeks. So meaning for us boxing fans that are worried about like, damn, we really want to see this fight. That's a fight like Inoue versus Donaire. It's a fight we're really excited about. This, that, and the third. Okay, well, if that's a fight you're excited about, you're going to be able to watch it on US television, most likely ESPN Plus, because from what I understand, Inouye has had a deal with what's his name? Top Rank. He's fought a couple times on ESPN before. I don't see why they can't further that that relationship. Again, it's a 3-belt unification. It's definitely worthy of being on US television. And although, again, since it's in Japan, most likely it's going to be like at 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning Eastern time. So if you guys are not morning people, you guys are going to, if you want to watch it live, at least you may be able to watch it like afterwards for free or something on like YouTube or anywhere else where you watch fights after they have happened. But as far as watching it live, you guys will have the chance, but it will be like at 6, 7 in the morning, depending where you live. So again, you guys have to make the decision if it's worth waking up. And I think this is a fight that's worth waking up for. Believe it or not, I do. That dude is big. And Inouye, it could crack. Donaire can crack. The first fight, although it was pretty clear that Inouye won the decision, I felt like Donaire won 3-4 rounds and even broke Inouye's face. Literally. I mean, literally broke his face. I wouldn't say it was in the second round. And credit to Inouye, who fought through and finished the fight, even dropped Donaire with a nasty body shot. So shout out to Inouye. He's definitely a warrior. I definitely got a lot of respect for that man. But at the end of the day, I do see this as a potential competitive fight, considering Donaire's power, considering Inouye's power. Both of these guys are power punchers. And yes, although Inouye's the younger, fresher fighter, and to be quite honest, the more skilled fighter, I don't think he's fucking with I don't think Donaire is fucking with Inouye. He's more skilled, he's younger, he's faster. He already has a win over you. But I don't discount Donaire's chances of catching him with one shot and boom, knocking him out. I don't. Oh, Mexicano, shout out to my Mexican brothers. Fulton and Inouye fighting 3 days apart. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't make too much about it because Inouye is somewhat tied to Top Rank. Fulton is tied to PBC. Also, they fighting in different weight classes. And I think Inouye's goal is to become undisputed. And after this Donaire fight, I think his goal is to probably fight Casemiro, who knows if that happens. I don't see. But I would love to see that. I would love to see Fulton fight Inouye, man. That's a fight I want to go live to. That's a fight I want to see in person. Now, if it happens in Japan, I doubt I'll go. But if that's a fight, like let's say they do it in Philly or in Atlanta or New York, obviously it'd be ideal for me in New York. I won't have to hop on a plane. I'll definitely get on a plane to go watch that one live. I'll save up my money for sure. Mini Pac-Man, Mariñez, Caballo, Adames, Elvis, Android, Hector Garcia, y muchos más vienen empujando muy fuerte. Absolutely, man. Dominicans, we got a lot of good fighters coming up. Yo, esto no son los dominicanos de antes. Que los dominicanos de antes, que tú le dabas 2 trompas y de una vez se rajaban en la esquina. These ain't these Dominicans, bro. I'm going to translate what I said. These ain't the Dominicans of the past. They used to smack them up and they used to quit in the corner. That's not the type of Dominicans that are coming up now. You're not going to tell me you see Elvis Rodriguez's skills and you can compare him to any former Dominican champion or Dominican contender from the 90s, 80s, or early 2000s. These Dominicans coming up, they different. And I'm going to ask him about about working fighting on the Dominican national team. When I spoke to Hector Luis Garcia, he spoke to me about a guy named, I believe his name was Armando Hernandez, who was part of the Cuban national team and I guess defected and moved to the Dominican Republic. Is now working on the Dominican national team. We'll see. We'll see where that goes. We'll see where he goes with that. And I'm gonna ask him exactly how has that man's presence changed the dynamic of Dominican boxing? Because also Hector Luis Garcia was in the Dominican national team and won a few medals. I believe he won gold in a Pan. He won silver twice in the Pan American Games, losing to Cubans. And then there was like a Central Caribbean tournament, and he won gold. So my point is, we're having success in amateur boxing. And now, if you see the transition of what's going on now in the boxing world, we're seeing success in the pros. Michel Rivera's undefeated, just beat another undefeated fighter. And say whatever you want about his performance, whether it was boring or not, but hey, man, the guy got a win, and he has a win against John Fernandez, who's a good fighter as well. Elvis Rodriguez, to me, is top of the class in terms of that grouping. He is the best Dominican in all of boxing. Hector Luis Garcia just beat an undefeated Chris Colbert, where I believe it was 33. The odds were 33-1 or something like that. So, and he pretty dominated soundly, and now is in line for a title shot. Alberto Puello's undefeated, and he's the mandatory for the WBA, 140 title. So we're getting a lot of opportunities. We're getting a lot of looks out here where we weren't getting that before. Yeah, Luis Fernando Nunez is pretty good too. And by the way, inside scoop, I spoke to somebody in his camp. He's going to be most likely fighting Vic Pasillas on the undercard of David Lemieux versus David Benavidez. I inquired about an interview. It's looking good. I'm not. They wasn't confirmed. They were just kind of like, yeah, we'll see. But honestly, I've gotten a few of those, and I've gotten them on. So that's why I'm never dismissing. When they just tell me, yeah, don't worry, we'll work it out. Again, I've got so far it's worked out for me. So I'm gonna try to get Luis Reynaldo Nunez on. But from what I understand, he's gonna be fighting Vic Pasillas, who's a really good fighter, a good contender. On the undercard of David Lemieux versus David Benavidez. The fight is not signed, sealed, delivered though. Yeah, Joan Guzman was good though, bro. He was good, but he never made weight, man. It's hard for us Dominicans to really back Joan Guzman, really get into a debate with somebody like, yo, Joan Guzman was that dude, this, that, and the third. It's hard for us to do that when he was missing weight all those times, man. That was his problem. His problem is never his skills. Yo, man, Joan Guzman at 122 and at 130, man, that dude was a beast. I remember there was rumors of him fighting Valero, and Valero was like, listen, I'd rather fight Pacquiao. And I don't know who would, you know what I'm saying? That's the amount of respect he had for Joan Guzman. You know what I'm saying? Joan Guzman was that dude. He could box. He was smooth. I remember Robert Garcia at one point said that in terms of skill level, in terms of talent, Joan Guzman was equal to Floyd Mayweather. This is not me saying, this is Robert Garcia, former trainer of the year, who said that. But he said that the work ethic just wasn't there. The man maybe he didn't have the right nutrition. And even now, I see him around here in Brooklyn. Yo, the guy is all fat and stuff. He just never, ever took care of his body, man. Never, ever took care of his body. ¿Qué no puede decir de Jason Banana Rosario? This guy's asking, what can I tell him about Jason Rosario? Jason Rosario just recently had a fight. It was like 2-3 weeks ago in Dominican Republic. If I'm not mistaken, he won by knockout. And he's going to be moving up to the middleweight division. He's going to be fighting at 160. He is still signed to Samson Lukowicz. We'll see what he does. He got knocked out twice by body shots at 154. I spoke with Samson 2-3 weeks ago, and Samson told me that it was because of the weight. The weight was too much for him, and that's why he couldn't take shots to the body. I'm not so sure I'm buying it, but that's what was relayed to me. I saw Rosario the last fight, and he did not look good. I mean, yeah. Saludos, Box Talk 101. Shout out to Freddie, my guy. Shout out to you. Pregúntale a Elvis si le gustaría la revancha que él perdió. All right. He's asking, can I ask Elvis about a rematch with Kenneth Sims Jr., who beat Elvis Rodriguez? Absolutely. That was already a question I was going to ask. I find it weird that they put a mic in his face after his last fight, and they like, who do you want to fight? He says, Rolly or Tank. Like, both of those guys are lightweights. And the dude who beat you, he don't got a fight scheduled. He just beat another undefeated fighter. Go get your win back. Don't have nobody out here in these streets talk about, yeah, I beat him. He easy work. Get that win back. And I felt like in Elvis's last two fights, he showed a lot more patience. And I mean, to be fair, he was always been sharp. But I feel like in particular, his last fight, he looked really, really sharp. So he definitely improved a lot. He definitely improved a lot. That's a good fight, but that Haney and Kambosos, I'm not sure which fight you saying is a good fight, but as far as Haney Kambosos, yo, I was hearing, I read something today, matter of fact, that Kambosos was saying that he still hasn't seen a contract. He said that he's not saying that he's not gonna fight Haney, but he said that he needs to see a contract, and that Haney needs to know that he's the B side, and that we're gonna tell him what we want him to do, and this and that. And I'm like, I don't know where the fuck he was going with that, but that's what he said. Pregúntale a Elvis si él piensa que Devontae. Come on, man. That's my friend Freddie from Box Talk 101. He's asking me to ask him if Devontae Adams is gonna have the same type of performance in with the Raiders that he did with the Packers. So he's a football guy. It's my guy. Man, it's a shame Top Rank screwed Elvis and prop up that chump Berlanga. I don't know if the thing is with I don't know if they screwed him, because for what I understand, the fight with Kenneth Sims Jr. was pushed onto Top Rank by his manager, and then when he lost is when he got released. So and I spoke to somebody from Top Rank, and what they told me, I believe it was Bruce Trampler I spoke with. He told me that it's just business. They didn't like the manager. They didn't like the way he ran his business, so they let him go because he was becoming too much of a problem. But that's something when he comes on, it's something I'm gonna ask him, like, why did he get released? Did he think there was anything else, behind this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see what else. Oh shit! Hello from Ukraine. Believe Loma will return belts after war. Yo, Alex, shout out to you from watching this from the Ukraine. I hope you and your family is all good. I understand you guys are going through a war. I appreciate you taking time out of your day during these times to watch my live stream. I really, really do appreciate that. And as far as Loma, I felt he would have beat Kambosos had he fought him, but unfortunately he's at war. I don't know when the war is going to end. I don't know when he's going to be allowed to leave the country. I saw something where the prime minister gave him permission to leave and he declined it. I'm not going to knock his decision whether to stay or to leave. I'm not in his shoes, and I'm in no position to criticize him. Only thing I can do is applaud him for staying there and protecting his country. But again, thank you so much for taking the time out your day during, where your country is going through something serious and watching my live stream. It really means a lot to me, man. I bet you anything Elvis is making more money now than he was with Top Rank. I'm going to ask him that. Matter of fact, I'm going to ask him that. They offered Michelle Rivera a fight against Broner, but Broner chose to fight Giovanni Santiago instead. Yeah. I actually asked Michelle Rivera about that. If you want to check that interview out, let me know. I'll DM it to you on Twitter or on Instagram. But what he told me is that, yeah, they offered him a fight. He accepted that the money was right. He accepted the fight. He was going to have to move up to 140. He was willing to do it, and that last minute they took the offer away. I don't know if that was true, but I don't see why he would lie about that. And that sounds about right, to be honest. I don't think Broner would have taken this, a guy who some people are high on in terms of Michelle Rivera when he could fight Giovanni Santiago, who also had an undefeated record. And people aren't as high on. People aren't, like, his name ain't buzzing in the streets like that. You know what I'm saying? No lie, bro. I think Elvis is better than Michelle Rivera. I agree. I always said, even when Michelle Rivera gave me the interview, and shout out to Michelle Rivera for doing that, I've always said, before and after he gave me an interview, I think Elvis is the best Dominican right now. I'm talking about actively right now. To me, Elvis Rodriguez is better than Carlos Adames, better than Jason Rosario, better than Alberto Pollo, and Alberto Pollo is actually in the same division as him, which is, we'll see if they ever match up in the ring. And I also think he's better than Hector Luis Garcia. He doesn't have a better win than Hector Luis Garcia. He doesn't have a better win than Jason Banana Rosario, who knocked out J-Rock. I don't even think he has a better win than Michel Rivera with his recent win of Adorno. But I'm just talking about straight eye test. I got Elvis Rodriguez. Give me him over all those guys, man. Rivera is more athletic. I totally disagree. Not only is Elvis more explosive, he also, I feel like, I don't know, his hand speed, I don't want to say that it's super fast. It is super explosive, but what it is, it's super sharp. And for you to be that sharp and accurate, he landed 63% of his power punches his last fight. 63%! That is unheard of. The fight went 7 rounds. The fight wasn't like, oh, yeah, he landed 63%, but it was a 2-3 round fight. He landed 63% and knocked the guy out in the 7th round. So there was a good amount of punches he threw and landed 63% of it. He is more athletic. He's faster. I like him better. I'm sorry. I like Elvis Rodriguez better in every shape, form, or fashion. Better than Rosario? You don't like that one, Karma? I think he's better than Rosario. I think Rosario can't take it to the body, man. I haven't even seen Elvis hit the ground, and obviously he hasn't faced the level of competition that Rosario has had, which is why I said he doesn't have a better win than Rosario. But until I see Elvis get dropped or get hurt real bad, I can't tell you if his chin is bad. I can't tell you he can't take it to the body because I haven't seen him not be able to take it to the body. I haven't seen him not being, not have a chin. He's shown me nothing but good things. Alberto Pollo is underrated, but Elvis is the Dominican king. Absolutely, Vivi. Abso-fucking-lutely. At least, that's we on the same page when it comes to Elvis. Alberto Pollo's nickname El Avispa. Isn't it La Avispa? I could be wrong, but yes, I do think so. I do think that's his nickname. Elvis is very, very physically gifted. Absolutely. Come on. Rosario's not fighting with bums. Rosario fought Charlo, Lubin, J-Rock. How are those bums, bro? What are you talking about? Just because he lost to Lubin and Charlo, he still gets credit for going in the ring with them. So he's not just fighting bums. And I don't look at J-Rock as a bum. I don't look at J-Rock as a killer either. I don't look at him as a superstar. I'm not going to go that crazy. But he's not a bum. I don't know where you're going with that, bro. Absolutely not. I'm excited Sean Boxing is consistently bringing shows to DR that's going to elevate the entire country fighters. Yes, man. I just think that that the Cuban trainer Armando Hernandez, and I may get Armando Hernandez on this show. I don't have no connections so far with him, but I'm gonna have to see if maybe I could get a guy on. Armando Hernandez, a former trainer from the Cuban national team, is now on the Dominican national team, and I'm assuming he's teaching other trainers his skills as well as the guys who make the national team. So this crop of Dominican fighters has been a lot more talent. There's been a lot more investment for a reason. When have you seen fucking Bob Arum signing Dominicans, sign Carlos Adames and Elvis Rodriguez? Top Rank never had Dominicans. He ended up releasing them for whatever reason. But my point is he signed them. And then, all right, they get released. Who they get signed with? PBC, the biggest entity in all of boxing. Oh, hold on. Damn, hold on 1 second. Let me send the link to my man Elvis. He might be waiting on me. Hold on. Hopefully he's not mad. But yeah, let me send this because I had told him 7:30. 1 sec. Boom. All right, I just sent him the link. Hopefully he hops on soon. But yeah, no, definitely Dominicans, we coming up big. Yo, thank you, Vivi. Rosario fought J-Rock, Charlo, and Lubin back to back. Bro, he earned a couple easy fights. Those are tough fights. that J-Rock win didn't hold up. Let's just say that. I mean, he stopped J-Rock. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like no fluky, decision win. He stopped him. So, he gets full credit for that. That J-Rock win was nice, and then J-Rock went MIA, so there's not much, but J-Rock beat the brakes off Hurd. Absolutely. Absolutely. 154 has the most active division in boxing in recent years. I'm not sure about active. I don't know where you're going with that. Definitely an uprising of Dominican fighters, and absolutely. And this, and by the way, Dominicans, we run boxing YouTube. I'm Dominican. Ring IQ's Dominican. Punch Drun's Dominican. Nesta Gibbs from the Boxing Voice is Dominican. But guess what? I'm the Dominican voice of boxing. But shout out to my Dominican brothers. We bring in straight content to y'all. Shout out to all of them, man. I definitely hit up Ness. I hit up Punch to collab. Those guys are super busy, so I'll see when we could do it. I never hit up Ring on Q. Every time I go on his channel, he's talking women's boxing, and I don't want to have him on my channel because I know women's boxing, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm some type of expert or something. So he, my level of expertise as far as that is Ring IQ and Moonshine are losers. I'm so glad you're the voice of Dominican boxing. Nah, man. I'm not gonna slander my Dominicans. I don't know why you calling them losers. I'm assuming they said something bad about Shakur Stevenson. But yeah, I'm definitely the voice of Dominican boxing. That's for sure. But shout out to those guys, man. I don't want to sit here and talk bad about them. Shout out to all of them, and I hope their channels grow. Hold on. 1 second. I'm trying to set up with Elvis. He's having a little trouble. Okay, hold on 1 second. Ooh. I don't know. He's having trouble. Sorry, guys. This is like one of those moments. He's telling me. Okay. He's telling me he clicked the link I sent him, but he's not here. I don't know. Maybe. 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. This live. Oh, come on. Loma is still the best at lightweight. Come on, man. Yo. The Emperor is the best at boxing right now. The best at lightweight. The Emperor, George Kambosos. The guy with the most belts. Lightweight is. Nah, I'm being funny. But I don't think Loma's the best. I mean, to be honest, nobody can really claim that they're the best but Kambosos because he has the most belts. And he has that T.O. win was pretty big, Who Devin Haney beat that's T.O. better than T.O.? I don't think nobody. Who Ryan's beat better than T.O.? Nobody. Who has Loma beat better than T.O.? He actually lost to T.O., so he's out of the picture. And who has Tank beat better than T.O.? I don't know, man. I think, to be honest, again, but to say who's the best at lightweight, we need to see more of how do I say? More of them. We need to see more of all of them. Shakur would pepper Lomachenko. Absolutely. I'll pick that. Hold on 1 second. What's up with this guy, man? Hold on. Hold on 1 second. I typing in Spanish Spanish is not my first language, so it's a little hard for me. But yeah, it seems like he's having trouble connecting, or maybe not understanding how the link works exactly. But I'm trying to get Elvis on so we could get this interview on and popping. Hold on, let me get my notes ready. Talk about he clicked the link and shit. Hold on 1 second. I'm super excited for my man Elvis, man. Again, ain't not best because the top guys haven't mixed it up. Yeah, ain't no. I'm assuming ain't no best because the top guys haven't mixed it up. Yeah, exactly. How am I supposed to know if Tank is better than Loma if they haven't fought? Like, you get what I'm saying? How am I supposed to know Ryan's better than Haney if they haven't fought? I do like the fact that Kambosos and Haney are fighting. We're gonna close the gap there a little bit. And then if you're telling me Kambosos not only beat Tio, he also beat Haney, how could you argue he's not the best lightweight in terms of resume? And then also he also has all the belts. So it's like he has all the belts and the best resume, and yet I still want to not conclude him the best. This is a big fight for both fighters. Haney is hasn't exactly shown me that he's the elite of the elite, and Kambosos has shown me one great performance, and I'm still not not sure what he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, is he the best? Is he this? All right, I got Elvis on. Thank God. I was scared he wasn't gonna be able to hop on. Elvis, hermano, ¿qué lo que?
¿Qué lo que hay? ¿Qué lo que hay? ¿Cómo estamos? ¿Todo bien?
Tranquilo. Voy a hacer la pregunta como en inglés y después en español, así tú sabes, para los que están viendo que no hablan español.
Está bien.
Ok. Primeramente, ¿por qué el boxeo y no el béisbol? Why did you start boxing instead of baseball?
Bueno, yo jugaba pelota primero. O sea que allá ese es el deporte principal. Yo jugaba pelota primero, pero un día llegué allá al club de boxeo. Tú sabes, llegué así, andaba en la calle ese día detrás de mi hermano. Y llegué y vi el club de boxeo y yo quedé enamorado del primer día que vi.
¿Cuántos años tenía?
Yo tenía como 11 años tenía, sí.
Okay. So I asked him, why did he choose boxing instead of baseball? Since the Dominican Republic, we're known for producing boxers, baseball players opposed to boxers. He said that he was 11 years old and he was walking down the block and he saw a boxing gym and he just kind of stumbled in there. And he could say it was like love at first sight. He fell in love with the sport. Okay. Dime de tu experiencia amateur, porque yo vi que tú peleaste en el equipo nacional. Cuéntame de tu experiencia. ¿Tú peleado en muchos lugares?
Sí, yo duré 8 años allá en el equipo nacional peleando en toda la categoría. Empecé de infantil a pelear, empecé a competir internacionalmente a los 15 años. Luego pasé a la categoría juvenil, después la élite. Duré 8 años en el equipo.
Okay. He said he fought for 8 years on the Dominican national team. He started traveling internationally when he was 15. And he fought in a lot of tournaments. ¿Cuáles países tú has ido para pelear cuando era amateur? What country did you go to as an amateur?
Hemos ido, yo llegué a muchos países, fuimos de Sudamérica, Ecuador, Venezuela, Colombia, Argentina, pues en Centroamérica y el Caribe, Puerto Rico, llegué allá a Panamá, México. Fuimos también a muchos sitios de Europa y Asia también, muchos torneos en Bulgaria, Kazajstán, Hungría,
Wow.
Azerbaiyán, Alemania. O sea, se me queda mucho más, pero siempre estábamos compitiendo fuera del país.
He says he has a lot of amateur international experience. He fought all over South America, Argentina, Ecuador, Colombia. He's fought in Central America, Panama. He fought in Puerto Rico, Mexico, also Asia. He's fought in Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Ukraine, Germany, Hungary, and a bunch of other countries that he said that he's leaving off. El coach del equipo nacional es un cubano que se llama Armando Hernández, ¿verdad?
Sí.
¿Qué calidad él le ha traído al equipo dominicano, él siendo cubano y trayendo esa como de escuela de Cuba? So there's a guy named Armando Hernandez who's a Cuban trainer, a guy who used to train the Cuban national team, who's now working on the Dominican national team. What is he bringing to the Dominican national team that's helping?
Bueno, creo que ese entrenador, Armando Hernández, fue mi entrenador también luego que pasé al equipo, porque primero estaba con mi entrenador de base, Jesús Pujol, que ese fue el que me enseñó los primeros pasos en el boxeo, casi todo. Y luego que pasó la selección, empiezo a entrenar con Armando Hernández, que sin lugar a duda ha servido, tú sabes, de mucho avance para lo que es el boxeo allí en la República Dominicana, porque te puedo decir que la mayoría de los boxeadores dominicanos han pasado, de los últimos tiempos, han pasado por la mano de él, la mayoría. El 70% podría decir. Creo que ha sido un entrenador que nos ha enseñado muchas cosas, sobre todo, tú sabes, la responsabilidad, la disciplina. Y en el boxeo ni se diga, tú sabes que los cubanos tienen una escuela muy buena en lo que es el boxeo, principalmente el amateur.
He says that all these Dominicans coming up right now having success, about 70% of them went through him. He said that once he made the Dominican national team around 15, he left his first trainer to train directly straight with Armando Hernandez. So, and he says that he's not only teaching people boxing skills, he's teaching people responsibility and discipline, and really getting the boxers to focus more at the task at hand. And he also said that, damn, he had said something else, but he went on. Basically, he's a great trainer. And, oh, he had said that we all know that the Cuban boxing school is a good school. So him coming to the Dominican Republic was a great asset. That's what he said. Ok, yo vi que en tu primer pelea fue en México. Cuéntame, ¿cómo fue allá? Your first fight was in Mexico, your pro debut. How was it?
Sí, mi pelea de debut fue en Tijuana, tú sabes, pero para mí no era algo nuevo porque ya yo había peleado en Tijuana como unas 3 o 4 veces ya cuando era amateur, ¿tú me entiendes? Y ya yo iba, tú sabes, con mucha experiencia. Es algo diferente, tú sabes, el saber que uno iba a hacer mi primera pelea profesional y eso, pero ya no era algo nuevo para mí, ya yo iba con experiencia, ¿tú me entiendes? Ahí fue mi debut en Tijuana y ya después de ahí todas mis peleas han sido aquí en Estados Unidos.
I asked him why was his pro debut. I asked him his pro debut was in Mexico to tell me more about it, and his response was that he already had fought in Tijuana, Mexico 2-3 times as an amateur, so it wasn't that much of an adjustment period. But when he went over there, he just went to. He was a little nervous because pro debut, but he took care of business and then started fighting in America after that. Mucha gente me ha hecho cuenta. Oh, bueno, primeramente. ¿Por qué fue tu primera pelea profesional en México, no en República Dominicana o en Estados Unidos? Why was your first fight in Mexico and not in the Dominican Republic or in the United States?
No, porque como yo, o sea, yo me vine a entrenar aquí en Los Ángeles, ¿tú me entiendes? Entonces tenía ya tiempo entrenando y estaban tratando de ponerme aquí en Estados Unidos, buscándome un espacio aquí, en alguna cartelera aquí, tú sabes, pero lamentablemente no se pudo y ya apareció ese break ahí en Tijuana y mi manejador, tú sabes, para aprovechar, ya como tenía ya cierto tiempo entrenando y eso, decidieron aprovechar y ponerme ahí a pelear en Tijuana.
He said that he was already living and training in Los Angeles, and his manager was trying to get him a fight here in America, and it just like it couldn't happen. All the slots were taken, and he was having trouble finding a slot to fight in. But then his manager got made aware of a situation, of an opportunity, excuse me, where he can fight in Tijuana, Mexico. So he just went and did that, and got his pro debut, and then after that started fighting in America. Okay. Pero ¿cómo fue esa experiencia como de tu pro debut? Fue en México y después tú, más tarde en tu carrera, tú estás peleando en la misma cartelera que Lomachenko, que Josh Taylor, que Canelo. ¿Cómo tú
Sí, tú sabes, fue.
tú entiendes como esa historia como que, wow, cambió todo?
Sí, porque mi segunda pelea fue en una cartelera de Lomachenko, ¿tú me entiendes? Ahí en el Staples Center, eso estaba, ya tú sabes, eso estaba lleno ahí. Pero tú sabes, son experiencias que uno va ganando, tú sabes, ese día sí tenía un poquito de presión, ¿tú me entiendes? Iba a ser mi primera pelea aquí, yo dentro del camerino, así veía la bulla afuera. Pero, como te digo, estaba preparado, gracias a Dios. Yo, tú sabes, desde que llegué aquí siempre he estado fajado en mi entrenamiento, concentrado. Y gracias a Dios siempre las cosas me han salido bien. Y ese día gané por nocaut mi primera pelea aquí en Estados Unidos, ¿tú me entiendes? Gané por nocaut en el segundo asalto, recuerdo.
Yeah. All right. So I asked him, like his first pro debut fight was it was in Mexico. I was like, how was that adjustment period that you've now fought in undercards with Lomachenko, with Canelo, with Josh Taylor? And he said that his first fight was in Tijuana. His second fight was on a Lomachenko undercard at the Staples Center. He was like, you know, he's not going to lie. He was a bit nervous because the situation is much different. But, you know, throughout all of that, he's been gaining experience and learning how to handle these big events. Okay. Eh, uh, ¿Cuándo fue que tú empezaste a entrenar con Freddie Roach? When did you start training with Freddie Roach?
Bueno, yo llegué aquí, recuerdo, en septiembre de 2018. Septiembre de 2018.
He started training with Freddie Roach September of 2018. Okay. Sí, yo lo encontré como muy sorprendido porque normalmente los dominicanos vienen a Nueva York cuando vienen de República Dominicana a entrenar. I was a bit surprised you went to Freddie Roach in LA because most Dominicans, when they move to America, they move to New York and end up training out here.
Sí, pero tú sabes, como mi manager estaba aquí en Los Ángeles, él me trajo directamente hacia acá y empecé a entrenar aquí.
¿El manager tuyo es dominicano?
Él es de dominicano, pero tú sabes, de New York.
Okay, así soy yo, Dominican
Sí.
York.
Sí.
I asked him about his manager if he's Dominican. He said, yeah, he's Dominican, but like he was born here. So I'm like, just like me. Okay. ¿A qué año tú firmaste con Top Rank? What year did you sign with Top Rank?
Yo firmé con Torran en 2019, que fue después de mi segunda pelea, luego de mi primera pelea aquí en Estados Unidos, firmé contrato con ellos.
He said he signed with Top Rank in 2019 after his second pro fight. You were looking amazing on ESPN, man. Like when you was fighting on there, they were matching you up lovely, and then you took a loss. Like what happened? Cuando tú estabas con Top Rank, tú estabas ahí en ESPN noqueando todo el mundo, viéndote muy impresionante y después cogiste una derrota. ¿Qué fue que pasó ahí en esa pelea?
Bueno, no, tú sabes, como digo siempre, no tengo excusa, una mala noche, lamentablemente ese día mi rival fue mejor que yo entiendo que cometí muchos errores en esa pelea, que luego yo, sabes, después que vi la pelea, entendí que cometí muchos errores ese día, ¿tú me entiendes? Y fue una pelea, tú sabes, parejita, pero la perdí y nada, seguimos para adelante. Después de eso, tú has visto cómo ha seguido la cosa después de eso.
He said that he lost to the better man that night. After seeing the tape, he saw that he's made a lot of mistakes and he's worked on those mistakes. He's a lot more disciplined now, and that if we've seen how he's fought since then, we see that he's improved. Which, to be honest, I actually agree. He has looked a lot better since then. ¿Tú estabas sorprendido cuando ellos te dieron release, cuando te sacaron del contrato? Were you surprised when they released you, Top Rank?
No, en verdad no, o sea, no estaba sorprendido, era algo que me lo esperaba. Porque incluso en el contrato lo decía que cualquier cosa, si tenía una derrota o algo, hasta una pelea de empate, ellos podían tomar esa decisión, pero no, en verdad no me sorprendí, tú sabes cómo es este deporte.
Yeah, he said he wasn't surprised that Top Rank released him after he'd taken a loss because it was written in the contract. Had he took a loss, even a draw, they had the option to release him. So he said when he took the loss, he wasn't exactly too surprised that he got released. Okay. ¿Tú crees que si tú fueras de otra raza, otra nacionalidad, tú fueras tratado de otra manera? If you was from another race or another nationality, you think Top Rank would have treated you a different way?
Bueno, no sabría qué decirte, en verdad, porque yo nunca me he enfocado en eso. Yo simplemente estoy aquí enfocado en mi trabajo, en hacerlo mejor siempre, cada vez que subo al cuadrilátero, ¿tú me entiendes? No sé, nunca me ha llegado eso a la mente, no te sabría decir.
No, solo digo porque el manager tuyo, yo leí algo que él dijo algo como algo así, como que sea, si tú, por eso fue que lo menciono. So I asked him, I already said that, whether you guys think that his release, whether his race or nationality was that involved. He said no, that he's never had that in his mind. He just thought that, they just released him because he took a loss. Ok, vamos a quitar, para ahora la revancha. ¿Cuándo que va a caer la revancha? Porque no podemos tener un tipo ahí caminando esta calle diciendo que le ganó un dominicano. ¿Cuándo va la revancha? When is the rematch? You can't have no Kenneth Sims walking around talking about he beat a Dominican. When is the rematch?
No, nosotros estamos trabajando aquí, seguimos firmes, trabajando más fuerte que nunca. Él también está por ahí trabajando y cualquier día que se dé la oportunidad y, ¿cómo te digo?
No una pelea que te interesa, no una pelea que tú quieres, así como hombre, como peleador, que tú quieres.
No,
Tú
claro que
también
sí, claro que sí, esperando que tú sabes que llegue la oportunidad en un momento, tú sabes, se pueda dar esa revancha.
Okay.
Esperamos en Dios.
He said, listen, I'm getting ready for my career. I'm staying in shape. I know that he's getting ready for his career and he's staying in shape. If the fight happens down the line, he loves it. And then I asked a follow-up question, like, is that a fight you want as a man, fight as you want as a fighter? And he said, absolutely, that's a fight he wants, and he wants that fight. Could that be your next fight? Would that interest you? Puede ser tu próxima pelea. Eso fuera una pelea que te interesara. ¿Ah?
Bueno,
No.
eso, tú sabes, eso ya es mi manejador que sabe
Okay.
de la pelea que vienen y eso. Ellos tienen su plan de trabajo, ¿tú me entiendes?
All right. He said that that's something he leaves to his manager, and that whether who he fights next, he leaves that to his manager. Okay. ¿En qué peso tuve como terminando tu carrera? Ya el peso máximo, como 54, 60, 68. What weight class do you see yourself ending your career?
Bueno, tú sabes, por ahora yo estoy peleando en 140 libras, pero no descarto que en un futuro suba a las 147 y tú sabes, quién sabe si llegamos hasta las 154 libras, puede ser.
Okay. He says right now he's fighting at 40, but he can see himself in the future maybe ending his career at 154, but he's not sure. Right now he's focusing on just staying at 140. No sé si tú sabes, pero en Nueva York esto está lleno de dominicanos. Y mira, para mí, tú eres el número uno dominicano, de todos los dominicanos. Yo le he hecho entrevista a Michelle Rivera, a Carlos Adame, a Héctor Luis García, pero para mí el dominicano, de todos los jóvenes, de todos los que vienen, que están subiendo ahora, yo digo que Elvis Rodríguez, el mejor dominicano. Oh, y yo soy la voz del boxeo dominicano, ese es el apodo que me dieron a mí. Yo soy, entonces si lo dije yo, eso va seteado. Tú eres el mejor dominicano y lo digo yo. You are the best Dominican. I've interviewed Hector Luis Garcia, Carlos Adames, Michelle Rivera, and I have to say, as the Dominican voice of boxing, you are the number one Dominican I am highest on. Y te lo quería decir así expresado porque yo cada vez que, porque así tú ves la bandera no es chiquita, la tengo aquí grande y cuando la gente me pregunten a mí quién es el mejor dominicano, yo digo Elvis Rodríguez.
No, gracias, pero tú sabes, también me siento bien a la misma vez que tengo, tú sabes, muchos compañeros míos también respaldando, porque esos muchachos están ahí también metiendo mano, bien,
No,
todo.
claro.
Todo lo que es importante.
Yeah, he says that he appreciates all the love I gave him, obviously, and then he said that he also appreciates the support and how successful the other Dominican boxers is being. He's being humble, but I like that about him. Tú estás cogiendo clase en inglés para aprender inglés, porque eso, tú sabes, muy importante en el nivel de, tú sabes, como para promoverte. Are you taking any English classes? Because that's very important for when it comes to promoting and stuff like that.
Tú sabes, siempre me dicen eso. Yo en verdad el inglés lo entiendo bien, tú sabes, me ha dado problemas más para
hablarlo.
Hablar, tú sabes, yo no he puesto mucho en mi parte, tú sabes, en verdad entiendo que tengo que ponerme para eso, ya. Ahora, ya.
Oye, próxima vez la entrevista en inglés. No. I asked him if he's taking any English classes, and he said that his problem is not understanding it. He understands English. His problem is speaking it, and he says that he does need to start taking a little bit more classes, doing a little bit more work in that area. But a lot of people have been saying that. Pero no sé si tú sabes, pero aquí en Nueva York hay mucho dominicano y el sueño mío es una cartelera lleno de dominicanos, que sea tú, Michelle y Héctor Luis García, tú sabes, los muchachos. y que peleen aquí en Nueva York, porque yo siempre digo que la gente dice que los dominicanos no apoyan, los dominicanos, que no compran taquilla. Y yo digo que eso es mentira. Los otros es que nunca tenemos un talento así como usted. Here in New York City, we have a large Dominican population. I would love for you to have a headline, a whole Dominican card with Michelle Rivera and maybe Hector Luis Garcia on the undercard, because we have a lot of Dominicans here. ¿Qué tú piensas de pelear aquí en Nueva York con todo dominicano? Quizá el mismo día de la parada dominicana o un 27 de febrero.
No, yo estoy loco por pelear allá en Nueva York, ese es uno de mis sueños. Sí. Pelear allá en Nueva York, y como tú dices, yo estoy seguro que nos van a ir a apoyar. Yo estoy seguro que sí, porque conozco muchos dominicanos que están allá en Nueva York, que les gusta el boxeo. Incluso en estos días había una cartelera en el Madison, ahí la última que hicieron, y eso estaban toditos, eso estaba lleno de dominicanos ahí. Solamente porque les gusta el boxeo. Yo imagino que si un día peleamos dominicanos ahí, nos van a ir a apoyar con más gusto.
Yeah, he says that fighting in New York would be a dream for him, and he said that even if you look and he says he has a lot of Dominican friends that live in New York, and that a lot of them were at the Berlanga fight in Madison Square Garden. He goes, and these are just Dominican fans who are just boxing fans. So if they'll show up for that card, they'll definitely show up for us and support. Okay, que si tú puedes elegir tu próxima 3 peleas en orden que sea quien sea, olvídate de promotor, ¿quién será? If you could have your ideal next 3 fights, who would it be against?
Bueno, ¿qué te digo? Tú sabes que la última pelea que tuve ya, en esta pelea me convirtió a mí en un contender, ¿tú me entiendes? Y la división de las 140 libras es una división que está bien buena, hay mucho nombre para mencionar. Y yo de verdad, tú sabes, yo no digo que no, me gustaría pelear con los mejores y seguir subiendo de nivel. Y como se dice por ahí que Taylor también va a subir de categoría y va a dejar los títulos, tú sabes, va a dejar los títulos vacantes, la cosa se va a poner mucho mejor. Y ya nosotros somos contenders en este peso, tú sabes, lo que queremos es pelea buena, que nos encaminen directamente hacia un título mundial.
Okay. He said that the titles are going to be vacant here at 140, so that and 140 is a stacked division. By the way, I've been preaching that, and shout out to Vivi in the chat. He's also been preaching that as well. So he said that since this is a stacked division, the titles are going to be vacant since Josh Taylor announced that he's going to move up. He's looking to see where he fits amongst that. Okay. Le quiero dar una chance a los fanáticos que llamen. ¿Tú tienes tiempo que puedo poner que llamen y te hagan preguntas?
Sí.
Okay. All right, guys. I'm gonna open up the phone lines for you guys. So if you guys want to call in and ask a question, I'm going to pin the link to the top of the chat. Please try to keep it short. I know some of you guys are my friends from Twitter, and I hate to really just shut you out, because it's been on the live too long, and I don't want to come across as rude, but try to keep it one question at a time. I'm going to pin the link to the top of the chat, and so, and boom. All right, so the link is pinned to the top of the chat. If you guys want to call in, by the way, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. All right. Dame un segundo que quiero poner el link para que ellos le den, para que llamen.
Está bien.
All right. All right. Tengo alguien llamando ahora. Déjame ponerte. Este es un dominicano también en Nueva York. Ari, what's up, my brother?
De lo mío, ¿cómo están?
Claro que hay, todo bien.
Bien, gracias. Bueno, voy a hacer la preguntita rápido. Si tú tuvieras la oportunidad de pelear con los peleadores que están en Top Rank ahora, ¿te gustaría ir y meterle mano allá para enseñarle a Top Rank que fue que fue un error dejarte salir de Top Rank y meterle mano? ¿Qué tú crees?
No solamente los que están en estos rank, todo el que esté 140 y nosotros estamos ready para quien sea y lo estamos demostrando.
Está heavy.
All right, Ari, thank you so much, man. So
Gracias.
The question was, would you like to fight somebody from Top Rank and beat them up just to show Top Rank that they made a mistake? His response was like, nah, not just the guys from Top Rank. He wants to fight the best. So anybody who's the best, basically. All right. Te tengo aquí otro dominicano, Jay, my Dominican brother.
Oh, what's good, bro? ¿Qué es lo que, Elvis?
¿Qué es lo que, mi hermano?
¿Qué es lo que hay?
Chilling. Yo quería saber, como ahora están, tú sabes, subiendo mucho boxeo dominicano en el país, tú sabes, yo quiero saber si ha cambiado el sentimiento contra el boxeo, porque antes nada más era pelota. Ahora, o sea, parece que hay más, tú sabes, chamaquitos que le gustan el boxeo y se quieren subir.
No, como le estaba diciendo ahorita, él que sabe que no soy yo solo, que estoy, tú sabes, vemos una camada bien grande de boxeadores y eso, tú sabes, eso le está gustando a la gente, eso le está dando más ánimo de apoyarnos y la gente, tú sabes, la gente está apoyando mucho ahí el boxeo. Incluso allá están haciendo cartelera, que eso no se veía antes y tú sabes, se están llenando también cartelera de boxeo allá en Santo Domingo. La gente está apoyando mucho más ahora.
Sí, heavy. Estoy esperando que tú llenas el Madison Square Garden con un par de dominicanos, ya tú sabes.
Ya tú sabes que el apoyo está aquí. El apoyo está aquí.
Ya tú sabes. Yo, Joel, good looking, bro.
Yo, no, Jay. Thank you for the call. All right. So the question was, do you see interest in Dominican boxing being more since, if he feels like a lot more fighters are coming up and they're better? And basically, his response was yes, that he does think boxing in the Dominican Republic is growing, and that a lot more kids are getting into the sport, as well as there's been a lot of cards that sell out, and they've been putting on a lot more cards in the Dominican Republic. Yeah. Okay. ¿Tú has venido aquí a Nueva York?
Claro, yo he ido ya un par de veces.
¿Cómo te gusta?
Pila, una de mis ciudades favoritas, tú sabes, Dominicana.
I asked him, has he ever been to New York? And the reason I asked him, because there's a lot of Dominicans out here, and he said that, yeah, he's been out here a bunch of times, and he goes that this is one of his favorite cities in the world. Y tú has viajado mucho, para tú decir que este es tu favorito de ciudad, eso es como un honor grande.
Sí.
I told him that for him to say that New York City is his favorite city, as much as he's traveled, is definitely a big statement. Vivi, call in, I'll translate your question. Hay alguna gente que tiene miedo, que hay que saber español. Yo estoy aquí de traductor. Llama, call in, guys. I don't mind. I can translate any question you want to ask. Oye, pero esa pelea el sábado, el 26 de marzo, tú te viste espectacular, mi hermano. Yo siempre, como te digo, yo siempre he dicho que tú eres el mejor dominicano, pero yo te vi como esos puños ahí cortito, ahí, y paciente. Eso es algo que tú trabajaste en el campamento, porque yo
sí.
Tú siempre lo he tenido, pero como yo te vi como de otro nivel.
Sí, no, eso, tú sabes, esos golpes de Super Q, lo estuvimos trabajando mucho en el campamento, ¿tú me entiendes? Porque nosotros vemos la pelea del contrincante, tú sabes, y hacemos un plan, vemos la cosa que le podemos hacer, la pelea, tú sabes, y la vamos aplicando en el entrenamiento, que ya cuando estamos en la pelea, ya eso sale solo, ya tanto que lo hemos entrenado.
Yeah, so the question I asked him was like, he looks super, super sharp. And Vivi, I see you. Just give me 1 sec. Let me translate, and then I'll get you on for your call. I asked him, you look super, super sharp, and you look a lot more better than you did in your previous fight. What is like, did you work on? He said that he's been working on that in the gym, and specifically the uppercut. That's why he was so sharp with it, and that's why he was so good with it. So, yeah, that's basically his response. So I got another caller, VV, my guy. Shout out to you. What's up? What's your question?
Do you have any boxers like when you were a kid that you would like try to that you idolized or you would try to replicate in terms of like styles and stuff like that?
Si tú has tenido como boxeador cuando niño, tú tenías un boxeador como que tú imitabas o que tú sabes, como ídolo.
Bueno, tú sabes que cuando yo empecé a boxear ya en ese tiempo era, tú sabes que Pacquiao estaba en su prime. O sea,
por eso fue que te fuiste con Freddie Roach.
Sí.
Yeah.
Eso fue una casualidad, pero ese era uno de los sueños muy entrenar con Freddie.
Yeah, he said that his favorite fighter growing up was Manny Pacquiao, because that was back when Manny Pacquiao was in his prime and doing his thing. So then I added in, I'm like, that's why you trained with Freddie Roach. And he said, no, that was just a coincidence, but it's always been a dream to train with Pacquiao. Damn, I lost track what I was saying. ¿Tú has conocido a Pacquiao? You've met Pacquiao?
Sí, ya yo lo he visto un par de veces ya.
Tiene que poner esa foto en las redes. No la vi en las redes. Hay que ponerla.
Sí, yo tengo un par de fotos con él.
Yeah. He says he has a bunch of pictures.
Tengo guantes, todo filmado por él.
He says he has a bunch of pictures with Manny Pacquiao, and that he even has signed gloves from Manny Pacquiao. Te voy a hacer 2 o 3 preguntas y después te voy a dejar ahí. Ya te cogió mucho de tu tiempo. Te quería preguntar, ¿a dónde uno puede comprar una camisa? Que yo veo que tú tienes esa camisa que dice The Dominican Kid, Elvis Rodriguez. Yo quiero ponerme la camisa. Yo quiero apoyar con dinero para que cuando la gente dice que los dominicanos no apoyen, que tú enseñes el video mío. Mira ese, un fanático con la camisa. ¿Qué es lo que? Dame el website.
Estamos trabajando con eso, Vamos a tratar de ponerla en website.
Dile que haga una camisa, que yo la compro de una vez.
Está bien, vamos, eso lo estamos trabajando ya.
I asked him if A-Side Boxing, I see you. So hold on, let me just translate this real quick. So I asked him when is he gonna get some gear, like some shirts. I be seeing him walking in with the Dominican Kid shirt and all that. I want to buy some money. I want to support with my money. You know, I say I support Dominican boxing. I want to buy some shirts, and he said that him and his team are working on that, and they'll get to that. Tengo otro llamador. A-Side Boxing, what's going on, brother?
What's going on? What's going on, Elvis? How you doing, man?
Bro.
Hey, so my question to him is, obviously, you check the rankings, and he's not ranked yet at 140. So I'm pretty sure after this, that beautiful performance that he put on this past weekend, I'm pretty sure he's going to be ranked at 140. So my question to him is, what sanctioning body do he think he's going to go with, or does he kind of have an idea about what sanctioning body he's going to be ranked in, and if and how bad does he want that rematch with Kenny Sims Jr.?
Okay, él te está preguntando, okay, después de esa pelea que tú te viste muy espectacular, él chequeó los rankings y tú no estás rankeado en ninguno de los 4 campeonatos. Entonces él dice que él cree que después de ese knockout espectacular, usted sí va a ser rankeado. ¿Cuál faja te interesa más? ¿El CMB o el AMB o tú sabes?
Bueno, yo creo que tú sabes, lo del organismo es lo de menos, tú sabes. El organismo es lo de menos, tú sabes, en el que mejor te hemos rankeado. Yo entiendo que esa es la que más nos va a convenir a nosotros.
Okay. He said that, he really doesn't care about sanctioning bodies. Whichever one ranks him higher is the one he's going to go with. And I forgot to ask you about the Kenneth Sims question. Él dice que si te interesa una revancha con el Kenneth Sims, el que te dio la única derrota.
Sí, yo te dije que sí, que algo tú sabes que me interesa, claro que sí, que o sea, cómo no me interesa venga la única derrota que tengo.
He said, of course. Why wouldn't he? He goes, how can he say as a fighter that he's not interested in fixing that wrong that happened in his record, that one lone loss?
Yeah, because I know they both had PBC now, man. Hey, man, just tell him, man, I appreciate you, Elvis, and let him know, man, I think he's one of the best boxer punchers at 140.
Okay, I will. Él dice que muchas gracias por contestar su pregunta y que él que quería decir que tú eres uno de los mejores boxeadores que también pega en la 140.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, bro.
All right, A-Side, thank you so much for the call.
You. And Joel, the Dominican voice of boxing, man.
Viste, la voz del boxeo dominicano. Thank you, brother. Así es que me dicen, porque yo tengo la bandera y todos los dominicanos han hecho entrevistas. El dominicano que no ha hecho entrevistas conmigo no va para ningún lado. Y ponme ese rumor. Próxima vez que tú hablas con el equipo nacional o con alguien, un profesional, que si no ha hecho una entrevista conmigo no es nadie. No, pero muchas gracias, Elvis, por todo tu tiempo. Estoy muy agradecido. Ojalá otra vez lo hacemos la entrevista o si disfrutaste.
Claro.
Y tú sabes, cualquier cosa, si tú vienes y si tú vas a pelear en Nueva York, si tú encuentras a un loco corriendo, diciéndole a todo el mundo que compre una taquilla, soy yo. Ni pregunta quién fue, soy yo. Tú tienes alguien que siempre te va a apoyar. Y como te dije, yo creo que de todos los dominicanos, tú tienes el potencial de ser así, indiscutible, a ganar mucha faja por muchas divisiones. Yo veo eso en tu futuro.
No, y estamos trabajando bien fuerte para eso, estamos puestos, como decimos allá.
Sigue ahí. Pues muchas gracias, Elvis, por todo tu tiempo y hasta la próxima.
Ok, manito, gracias.
Oye, antes que te vaya, sígueme para atrás en Instagram.
Está bien, está bien. Yo pensé que te iba a seguir de una vez.
No, dame una seguida,
Sí.
y ahí seguimos hablando. Pues está bien, hermano.
Todo, ya tú sabes.
So basically, when I went long on that long diatribe, I was just saying, when A-Side Boxing said, yo, I'm really am the voice of Dominican boxing, I just told him, you saw that? I am the Dominican voice of Dominican boxing. And anybody, I told him, tell your friends, tell all the coaches in DR, tell all the fighters you know that are Dominican. If they don't interview with me, they not good. That's it. If you Dominican and you haven't interviewed with me, you are not good. You never becoming a world champion. That's it. Now, let me say that in Spanish. Oye, si tú eres dominicano y tú eres boxeador y tú no me das a mí una entrevista, tú no vas a ser campeón mundial. Yo soy la voz del boxeo dominicano. Yo estoy aquí representando aquí en YouTube. Cuando nadie, ni ESPN, ni nadie te están dando entrevistas, soy yo dando entrevistas a todos los dominicanos. Basically, what I said was not Fox, not ESPN. None of those guys are giving Dominican interviews. I'm out here repping for my team. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. I talk to everybody. I've had on Michael Fox on here before. I've had on, who else I had on? I had on Herbert Conceição. I'm going to cover everybody. But my point is, I feel like Dominican fighters, Dominicans, we're put to the side and we're not giving the interviews. We're not giving the little, mini documentary about your life. We don't get none of that shit. I was always complaining about that amongst my friends. You know what I did? I created my own platform and I'm interviewing motherfuckers. And yeah, my platform is small. By the way, hit that subscribe and like button if you haven't already. My platform is small, but I'm playing the long game, man. I'm documenting history. Yo, these guys become world champions and you want to do a research project on Dominican boxers? There's no fucking way you're not coming on this channel. I'm a boxing historian, man. I'm going for the record books. As long as these dudes become world champions. Let's hope. And honestly, I'm not worried about Elvis. Elvis is going to be that dude, man. He's living in LA. The fact that he lives in LA gives me a lot more confidence that he's going to be successful. You guys are probably wondering why. Like, why? What's wrong? Why him living in LA? Because if he lived in New York, there's too many Dominicans out here. And us Dominicans, we love to party. We love to drink. We love to smoke hookah. We love to eat fried fucking plantains. All the unhealthy shit you don't want a fighter to do, that's what us Dominicans do. And I'm not saying he's incapable of avoiding that, but shit, if he's living in New York with a bunch of Dominicans, it's more likely for that to happen. He's living in LA. Let him find a little good Mexican girl out there, cook him up with the whatever the Mexicans eat, cook that up for him because Mexican fighters are good fighters. So if he's eating the same thing as Mexicans, I'm good, man. I'm good. I love fried plantains too. Believe me. That's why I need to lose that's why I'm a heavyweight. All right, now I'm a heavyweight, man. I'm 240 pounds right now. I'm a big guy. I need to get off those fried plantains. But good thing I'm not trying to make weight. I'm good. But yeah, man, what you guys think of the interview? Man, I came across really impressed how sharp he was with his questions, especially when I was asking him about the Top Rank situation. He was very careful with his words, very media savvy, especially for a guy who doesn't have a lot of interviews out there. I asked him about did he think his release had anything to do with race and or nationality, and people might be like, oh, come on, why would you ask him that? That's such a gotcha question, and it really wasn't. There was an article, and I would have pulled it up had he been able to read English, but he doesn't speak English or read it. His manager had said something that he thinks maybe this was along the lines of it if he was Puerto Rican or Mexican. So I don't want to quote him. Matter of fact, let me find the quote exactly because I don't want to butcher it. But basically, he said that he thinks maybe some of it had something to do with race. I'm not even agreeing or disagreeing. I'm just saying what was a quote I read. Hold on 1 second. All right, there we go. I found it. Hold on, let me screen share for you guys, and I'm I would have screen shared it for him again, but he doesn't read English. It made no sense to screen share. So this is his trainer talking. He goes, the reality is there are color and cultural lines in boxing, and you have to fit in one of those lines. Unfortunately, dark-skinned Dominicans do not fit in either of those lines. Where do you take a Dominican fighter to sell out a stadium? I'm not the first one to say it, as Bernard Hopkins has been very adamant about the same issues. And then he continued on to say, I heard some things being said by people from Top Rank, but if it was such a problem, then why didn't you release us beforehand? It is what it is. We appreciate what they did for us, and now it's time to move on. I do agree with that last sentiment. It's time to move on, and they have moved on. They're now signed with PBC, the biggest promoter. Well, they're not promoters, but PBC, the biggest distributor of boxing content here in America. How about that? I'll say it like that. And it's worked out good for him. He was on the Canelo undercard. Canelo, the number 1 pound for pound fighter, the number 1 face of boxing. He was on his undercard. And then in his previous fight, he was on the undercard of Tim Tszyu, who a lot of people anticipated his U.S. debut. And it was free on Showtime. You didn't have to pay for it. So I like the way they move in his career, both his manager and his promoter. They're both doing a great job. Thank you so much, VV. Thank you so much, Carlos Nunez. Carlos Nunez, my bad. Carlos Montes, Mike Nunez. Don't you think it would be better for him, marketing-wise, to live in New York City? No, bro. New York City, at any moment in time, you can do whatever you want. You can, at 4 in the morning, if I wanted a fucking burrito with extra hot sauce, I could get it. If I wanted anything I want to eat, I could get at that time. And there's a lot of party spots. There's after-hour spots in the Bronx. Yo, there's mad after-hour spots where you could go and party until 10 a.m. Like, you got to know somebody to get in there. But if he's a boxer, he's going to know people. I just don't. I think marketing-wise, yes. But I think focus-wise, no. And plus, what good trainer is out here in New York? Andre Rozier is a really good trainer, but no disrespect to Andre Rozier, but he's not Freddie Roach. And also, you get better sparring in LA. There's better weather in LA. I think it's better for him focus-wise. But marketing-wise, yes, maybe living in New York City would be better for him. Interview was great. Great questions from everyone. The translation was on point. Everything was just great. Proud of you, brother. Thank you, Johnny. I really appreciate that. Shout out to you for the kind words and also for being a subscriber. Mike Nunez, definitely. That's why we hope he fights here often. Yo, I'm telling you, man. Listen, when it happens, when there's a Dominican card in New York City, just know I've been talking about this shit forever. I talked to Kenneth Buhare from the PBC podcast. Shout out to KB. That's my guy. I've been talking his ear off about putting an all-Dominican card in New York City. I don't even know if he has that kind of power to do it, but any chance I get to ask what I want as a fan, I'm going to do. And I want to see Elvis Rodriguez in New York City. I want to see Michelle Rivera in New York City. I want to see Hector Luis Garcia in New York City. And I'm telling you, I know my market. If you give us a full all-Dominican card on the eve of the Dominican Day Parade, we will sell out. We will sell out the little room in Madison Square Garden. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. But again, cards are expensive to do here in New York. So I understand not putting that many cards here in New York City, considering like you may not recoup. There are reasons why a lot of the cards in New York City has kind of slowed down. I don't know if you guys remember when it was like every other weekend was a fight at the Barclays Center. You remember that? That hasn't happened no more. Why? The insurance here in New York City after Magomed, I believe his last name was Abdul Salamov. I forget, these Russian last. I'm bad with that last names, like especially from that part of the country. But anyways, Magomed was his first name. He fought a guy named Mike Perez, a heavyweight. They got into a fight, and then long story short, he got into a coma. And after that, New York City started taking like really serious the safety and insurance of boxers. So now for you to put a card in New York City, you have to spend a good amount of money for insurance. So it's not worth it for them in the terms of putting a card here, especially if it's a smaller card. But shit, if Top Rank is putting Berlanga it in the little room, why can't you put, these guys in the little room? Again, if you put Elvis, Hector Luis Garcia, and Michelle Rivera on the same card, we sell out that little room. And then if you give us in the big room, we'll bring about 7,000. We'll bring 7,000. I'm counting for 7. Listen, I'm accounting for 7. And y'all know, listen, the promotion just on me alone, y'all know I'm fucking crazy. Y'all know I'm fucking, animated and stuff. You imagine me knowing that August 12th, there's an all Dominican card the eve before the Dominican Day Parade. You know how much promotion I would do for free on my YouTube channel? Yo, boxing Twitter would hate me. They'll be like, God damn, don't put him in his face. Don't put him on Chicken Talk. He gonna talk about that Dominican card again. That's how it'll be if they ever make that shit. For real. For real. How does a fighter promote himself? I feel like the Dominican fighters have to promote themselves because the promoters don't know how to promote us. I do agree that the promoters now are so milder than they were before. I feel like they don't, how do I say? Like, who the fuck, like, if you a fighter for PBC, like, who's really out there banging the table, representing your name and arguing with reporters, kind of like how, it used to be back in the days. Bob Arum does it for his organization, but like, does he really? Like, how often does he do it? Also, I guess, you know what? I will say Eddie Hearn does do a good job of that in terms of every camera he sees. I feel like Eddie Hearn to give an interview to Rat Hole Boxing YouTube channel with 2 subscribers. Like, Eddie Hearn is a workaholic, always talking about his fighters, always finding a way to keep his fighters' name in the mix. Although, obviously, it hasn't worked on in America. He hasn't been able to put the fights on he wants, but I feel like he's always out there banging the table for his fighters. Yeah. Frank says, very professional interview. I'm proud of you. Thank you, man. I really, really appreciate that, my brother. I really, really do. Randy says, Josue Vargas got a main event at Hulu. Elvis is way better. They can do it. Absolutely. Not only is he way better, if you do my idea in terms of stacking the card, it'll be a better card. You get what I'm saying? And again, we know our Dominican market. Listen, most of my followers are either Mexican or Dominican. Shout out to the Mexicans that are follow me, man. They be hitting me up on Twitter or talking all Spanish and shit. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all. But I know we'll pack that shit. I'm a Dillian fan, but Dillian's lawyers got destroyed against Frank Warren. Man, no disrespect, Muhammad. And Muhammad, you my guy, but like, that's not what we talking about right now. But damn, I'm excited, man. I've gotten a lot of good interviews. I really, really have. I've gotten interviews with all these Dominican guys. And by the way, I have a few more already on deck. I keep listen. There's no other YouTuber with my amount of subscribers pumping out this kind of content. By the way, I just want to pat myself on the back on that. There's no other YouTuber doing that, pumping them out like that. I got 2 already set. No, not already set. I have 2 already. They said they will do the interview. It's just a matter of a couple things happening on their end, which, whatever. I'm a patient guy. I'm willing to do that. And then there's a couple other guys who I've been talking to, and I haven't quite asked just yet. You know what I'm saying? So, but there's going to be a lot of elite level content coming on this. Who do you guys want to see me interview? Matter of fact, don't mention Canelo or fucking Floyd Mayweather, knowing I'm not going to get that shit. Like, I'm talking about like guys who are reasonably I can get. How many views did you get? I'm just got back from training and missed the interview. Honestly, I was so focused in on the interview, I wasn't even watching how many viewers was on. So I don't know if anybody in the chat can help out Randy, let him know how many people were on. But yeah, I was so focused in. And there was a couple questions. See, this is why I need to hire a translator. Or you know what, I need to take notes. Because there's a couple times he's talking. Oh, I need to translate because I want to ask a question, a follow-up question, but then I have to hold that thought, translate for you guys, and then remember that thought, and not all the times it would come back to me. So I need to hire a translator. Obviously, I speak Spanish, and But the only thing is, though, you know, except for Dominicans, I can't hire translators for Dominicans. They need to feel that energy. They need to hear what I gotta say. You know what I'm saying? They need to know I'm one of them. Because you see these dudes, they get comfortable with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I talk like I'm from where they from. Because I am. Well, I'm from New York, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we cut from the same cloth. You know, we eat the same things. We grew up listening to the same kind of music and watching the same kind of things. So yeah. But all right, guys, I'm gonna end the live. Shout out to you guys. Oh, I appreciate that, Karma. Shout out to you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna end the live and hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. And until next time, peace.